Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, 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 got you. So that bigger pattern that you've got, is that basically intersecting the top of the first high, then the middle point of the second high, and then coming down? Is that the sort of swing channel you're looking at? What? So is that a 60 something chart? Because I've seen a chart with that Wall Street guy that's always on, who sort of I give a bit of credence to. He's been in the game forever, but he was drawing a chart where basically it was from the first 60 whatever it was high to the it went through the middle. So the first high at 60 whatever it was, 65 or something. He was drawing that, and then he was intersecting it slightly lower, coming down and hitting that peak that you've got near the end, and then he was sort of transposing it down. So it was almost like a parallel channel, but it was at a slightly lower level than you've got it on the second peak. It was like from the first peak coming down. So it was like the first peak, and it was hitting that second middle peak towards the end of the triangle that you've got at the minute, or the falling wedge that you've got at the minute. And then and then he basically just took the line and moved it down. And he said you've got like a swing trade happening there within that channel, if that makes sense. No, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't that first peak. It wasn't the second peak of the 67 or 65 or whatever. It was actually the first peak he was drawing it from. From that one, yeah. That one, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he was kind of swinging it through there, and then it was almost like a parallel channel, saying that there was some swing, and he just took that line when he got the line dialed in. I don't know whether he took it to the top of the second peak down, or the just to the right of where you are now, that highest peak. I think he took that. I think he took the line from there, but obviously that first peak line, and then he made that touch the peak higher up, if that makes sense. So it was kind of a wider channel than you've got at the minute. So rather than coming down as sharply with the blue line, it went up a bit more and hit that top one where you've got the original yellow line. So it comes from the first peak and hits that second one. So the blue line that you've got basically needs, the angle of it needs to go up, and it needs to hit that middle peak, if you know what I mean. So yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going. Yeah, to there. I think that was it. I think that was it. And then he just copied that and then moved it down, sort of thing. And then he had a channel. Yeah, I think it was actually the lower line that he was looking at. Yeah, but he said that was kind of like a swing that he was trading in. Yeah, think I think everyone's looking at 20K, but whether it'll happen, I don't know. I mean, it might probably get eaten up before then, won't it? Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Right. And what's that? I can't quite see it on my phone screen. What's the value on that? 28.7. So basically, you break back into the pattern. Yeah. Right. Got it. Yeah. So I know you were saying the other day. I mean, as I said, I've just been dipping in and out of the chat and looking at the charts and things. I haven't been very active for a few weeks. Just kind of waiting for some direction, really, and trying not to lose any more money. But at the same time, I'm just kind of. You said something about giving more credence to horizontal resistance levels rather than EMAs necessarily. I mean, is that again just drawing those lines on looking for where there's lots of touches on the horizontal on the higher time frames? Yeah, 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 yeah. Got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. Got you. And and I mean, as I say, it seems like a lot of the rhetoric in the space has changed, hasn't it? From if we go below 30,000, it's all over, and that's it. Crypto winter's upon us. Now it seems like people are saying, "Oh, we're looking at the 5-day chart rather than the weekly chart or whatever." And it's almost like the charting's changed to suit the narrative that they want to push, kind of thing. So I'm a little bit conscious of that, just trying to suss out, are we, is it going to be a long, drawn out kind of sideways bit of action, or is it going to go down and then we're going to get a bounce? I mean, effectively, I think we need to go lower for it to then have a short squeeze, and then for it to get some more energy and momentum and go back up. That's what we're waiting for, isn't it? I think. Yeah. 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 So, so you so you're basically getting out on the support and on the anticipation that you're going to get a bounce, and are you using leverage for that? Are you using like times three or something, or? Yeah, 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 yeah. Got you. Right, right. There's no option for doing that on Binance then, the down tokens. I'm not on Bolsa DX. Right, and they're just called, whatever down or whatever up, are they? And it already has the leverage of times three built in, does it? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right, got you. So say for me, I just need some sort of entry. It's deciding where to get in and where to get out. As I say, I mean, in times gone past when I've kind of been in the group and you obviously got people sort of calling things. Obviously now I'm sort of lone wolfing it a bit, with the exception of you guys. You obviously haven't got the hand holding. Not that it's always helpful necessarily in the group, but at the same time, it just sort of give you a rough idea of what's happening and what you should be looking for. I mean, as I say, typically I was always waiting for a dump. I'd have alerts set, and if I saw a big red candle, I'd try and buy some alts at the bottom, and then wait for a bounce, and then try and get out with 30% profit or whatever, But it doesn't seem like it's going like that. It just seems like sideways crap at the minute, doesn't it? Which is difficult to trade if you're low on skill. Yeah. Hmm. 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 Yeah. 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 Got you. Hmm. Right. Come back and tap it again. Yeah. So you're not, so you're not in the trade at the minute. You're just kind of seeing what's happening at the minute. Yeah. Got yeah. 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 Mhm. Yeah. Because I know a lot of people shut their or shut their shorts on Ethereum, didn't they? Recently, there was like a lot of people, obviously the whales and people who are in the know, stop shorting Ethereum. So you think, well, maybe do they know something we don't? Are we almost at the bottom? I mean, from what I've seen, there's talk of, after that death cross, which I think's incoming. Usually a week to 2 weeks after that, you generally bottom, and then hopefully you'll see a reversal in the other direction. At least that's what some commentators are saying. Yeah. 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 And mhm, mhm. Yeah. You mean you're not doing a Chris where you got in at two cents and it ran up to $4 million and everyone everyone's got a Lambo and bought a new house and have 6 computer monitors in the room and all that bullshit. Yeah. Yeah. It's good we can laugh about it, but I'm definitely made some. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been burnt so many times on those fucking bangers because you're getting too late because they've already pumped. You've not bought them at the bottom of the pack, and then you buy them, and then the bots obviously pump it, and you think, oh, we're going to the moon. You go and have a shit or something. You come back, and then it's fucking dropped by 75%. You're like, oh man, why did I bother? It's happened so many times. You just get a fake. Yeah, yeah. Mhm. I know what one looks like now, at least, which is a start. But I think it's just finding them at the minute. It's difficult. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you wouldn't be trading inside that triangle once you'd had a couple of touches and think, well, that's the zone we're in. I'll sell the top. I'll buy the bottom. Right, got you. By which time all the yeah. Hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mhm. So I guess at the thick end of the triangle or the fat end, you don't know what's happening there. You're just buying the bottom and you're hoping, basically, aren't you? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of the time, what I noticed is some of the guys who were kind of in the group who were bang on it, they would just kind of, obviously catch knives. They'd ride it up on a times three up or, a bit of leverage or whatever. Soon as Bitcoin looked like it had sort of bounced and it had run out of steam, they'd just cash out there and then wait for it to then bottom out and for that triangle then to reappear, wait for the end, and then obviously the measurement or the measured moves from the fat end, you put that on top of the other end, and if you get 75% of that, brilliant. But it might not happen, but at least you're going to get something. So I guess if you got 30 of the 50% on the actual dump, and then you made another 30% when the ascending triangle breaks out, then you've made 60% anyway, haven't you? So it's yeah. Mhm. Are there any good ones to keep an eye on at the moment, apart from the ones you've posted in chat or not? Or yeah, yeah. What's your general thoughts on the market in general? Obviously, there's still a lot of talk about Web3 and the development of that coming over the next year or whatever. So again, you could look at things like Polygon and AVAX and some of the bigger mid caps, and you think, well, maybe it's worth a nibble of those in terms of an investment portfolio. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I mean, you look at things like Ultra. Obviously, they've got a big stake in the whole gaming vibe, haven't they? And also Gala as well. And you think, well, surely those two, rather than just buying, say, Naka or one of the other Dreams or one of those bloody shill coins, you think, well, if you actually buy something that's got a bit of meat within that category and has got some say so, on the distribution side and the way they're integrated with other businesses, then they've got to be safer bets longer term to see a good bounce, because I mean, all that stuff's been completely nilled, hasn't it, compared to its all-time highs? I mean, it must have lost 90%, if not more. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Right. Mhm. And then if that breaks, it's back down to the bottom. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm. Yeah. So you think on the time frame, you think on the time frame now we're in crypto winter, or you think it's like, because I mean you look at some commentators, they're still saying, oh yeah, we're still waiting for the fifth wave of the bull run. It hasn't had the blown off top yet. And I mean, that's yeah. Hmm. 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 Have you looked at the 5-day chart? That was the one I was referring to. Yeah. 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 Hmm. Right. And that's when the interest rates are out, is it? Right. It's definitely. Hmm. Hmm. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, generally, you mentioned about decision time to me ages ago about, if you have three peaks, generally, say it's an ascending channel or ascending wedge or whatever, you've got three tops, and then it's decision time, and usually 68% chance it breaks lower. Similarly, if it's going the other way, if you come if you have three peaks on the way down as well, then the likelihood is that it's going to break higher after that. Is that generally the crack? Is it or? Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, wait. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Right. Doesn't look like there are any long trades at the minute. There's no mid-term holds, is there? Unless you yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I've done that enough. Mhm. Yeah, I've held those bags enough from the top all the way down to the eating shit zone. So yeah, I wish I'd sold them when we got that first lower high for Bitcoin. I should have just sold all my alts there and waited for another opportunity to buy in when there was another dump and then another bounce, but just held things, and that's how you eat your money away, isn't it? Dead quick. So yeah, so all to do now. So what happened with Luna exactly? Have they basically brought out a Luna 2? So there's a new coin now? Because I was watching it and obviously it went down to eating shit levels. I made a bit of money when I was on holiday, even though I bought at 250, went down to 70p. Then as soon as it went back up to 250, I sold because I shit myself basically. I just wanted to be out. And then thankfully I hedged on my KuCoin account and made a quick couple of grand on that, catching the bottom and selling about the same level. So it wasn't the end of the world. It was a good day. But then obviously I thought, should I short this? Because it went up to like £7 on Binance and then came down over time. I came back off the flight and it was at like 67 pence again. I was thinking, fuck, do I buy or, is that it over now? And then obviously it went down to 0.00005, where I think Rogue bought in. And I thought surely if you bought it at that level, and obviously all the news that he was trying to get it back on the exchange, I thought, well, if I even had bought like 500 bucks worth or a grand's worth, and then you see it's like shoot up to 25 bucks on Binance and 11 bucks on KuCoin or whatever. Did anyone see those numbers on multiples, or did they lose the nerve and basically sell when it doubled or whatever, or what was the deal? Were there any success stories of people making a 1000x or whatever? Yeah, I think that's I think that's yeah. But when did that swap? When did that swap over? Because I thought, if they pulled the old, all right, well, we're launching a new coin or having a fork or whatever, and you've got to send us details of your hard wallet with how much Luna you've got in. I mean, basically, it looked like it was basically just a big Ponzi pump to like keep some of the investors who got bummed on the UST dump. I mean, people losing like millions of pounds, weren't they, in UST? So, I think it was probably just something to keep them sweet, wasn't it? So there was a massive pump. Presumably, they bought a load more when it was 0.0005, pumped it up to thousands, and everyone just dumped the bags who were the main stakeholders and got the money back. That's what it looked like. But I mean, it still tottered around, like £3 or £4 for like a few days. So I mean, even if you'd gone to sleep or the usual, like done something in life and not been looking at the charts every minute, you bought in at that level. I mean, you're still going to have made a fortune, aren't you? I mean, again, it just kind of harks back to, when there's extreme fear, you should be buying, and when there's greed, you should be selling. So it's like I just kicking myself. I didn't buy 500 bucks worth because I thought, that would have basically been a game changer. I would have been back. If not, I would have had about 500,000 if that was actually possible to do. Off five. It was just basically on business USD, and then I think on, and then I think, well, I mean, same time, I think even before they started doing the UST, Luna went from $5, didn't it? Last year or whatever, up to $20 or whatever. So it done like a times 4 initially, and then it did a times 10. And then I think when UST started being a thing, that's when it really started motoring. But as I say, it's just, was that trade even possible, or was it just kind of like we swapped from one lunar to this other lunar, and basically if you ended up, yeah. So so, so the yeah. Well, I mean, I saw it teetering up to about a cent, and I was like, oh, it just looks like it's not going anywhere, so I didn't bother. And I thought, thankfully, I didn't buy it when it was 0.00. But then obviously you see it go up to $25, and you think, wow, that's like millionaire making stuff overnight, isn't it? Or within 10 minutes of when the bots buy it, when it goes back on the exchanges. But who knows, man? Who knows? But yeah, just the usual FOMO, fear of missing out, massively. On to crypto, yeah. So anything else you look? Yeah, I mean, it's just good to catch up, man. As I said, I missed the last one. I couldn't get my mic to work, so I was just watching. But I guess yeah, pretty much stalking you guys. But but yeah, am I the only one in today, or is anyone else sort of watching or whatever? Or yeah, well, I guess everyone's in the same boat, just waiting for something to happen, aren't they? Really? Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good confirmation for me, man. It's helpful. As I say, I'm just checking in and keeping an eye what's been said in the group and the chat. I dare say when I've got a bit more time, invariably business has got a bit busy with the summer kicking off finally in the UK with the paddle boards. So I'm busy trying to make some money rather than lose any more in crypto. So just waiting for a signal, really, a sign. No, no, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. All right, take care, man. See you. Bye bye.